Okay, recording has started.
Hey, welcome everybody. Today is October 9th, 2025, and this is a Gimbalabs Thursday open governance session. We all get together each week to talk about the direction of Gimbalabs and proposals in our Notion project board, which I'm going to bring up on my screen right now. We've already done a little bit of a check-in, so the folks that are here, like Jethro and Maureen and Nori and Sebastian and Tevo, have all sort of gotten acquainted, and let's begin our the next part now. Dun, dun, dun. I'm coming to you live and direct from my dad's place. And so, which means I'm in one screen, so it's a little bit different than normal. Let's see. Okay. So, oh boy, it's really different. All right, so what I want to do is go to this meeting agenda. I also want to close some stuff down. Oh boy. Can you see, is this being covered up with some of my, can you see what's going on?
We can see it. Maybe
Okay.
too zoomed
Yes, I can.
but
Zoom in a bit.
I mean, well, like to me, it's zoomed in a lot, but
It's
I don't know.
okay.
Okay. All right. Because what I want to do is this is sort of our agenda setting process. First, we talk about the other proposals that are in the process, the consent process phase, and that right now is Maureen and the ADA experts improvements, and then we'll go into sort of updates from in progress. And that right now is the sort of DREP portal, or anybody else that has things like Emmanuel is here, and maybe he wants to give an update on the hackathon and the African Education Initiative. There's a couple of other little things that we want to talk about, and maybe closing proposals, and then if there are any new proposals, and then general discussion. So it just sort of follows a flow like this. We've got a little over an hour to discuss these things, so we have time. Does everybody kind of agree on or understand the process that we go through here? And most of everything that we talk about is, I'm switched over here to our Notion dashboard, and it's all about proposals or things that we're in this process. We're going from proposal to planning, in progress, and then to done. Does that like feel good as a agenda, or does anybody have anything else that they're burning or to talk about or bring up to the group? I see Lewis has got a thumbs up. Harsha, did I cover everything?
As far as I can think of, yeah.
Okay, cool. So, Maureen, do you have any reports, or based on the conversations that we had last week, do you have things to share? So you don't have a Notion account, but you've been working with the proposal here in this Google Doc. Do you have anything?
That's right.
Yeah. Were you able? Yeah.
Sorry, was I able to do what?
To work on the proposal, or anything that like maybe changed, or do you want to talk about the proposal in any way?
I want to take questions.
Okay. So the group.
I know I have a small question. So I'm not sure if everyone here has gone through the proposal and understands the proposal completely. If we have like enough quorum who has gone through the proposal and understand the proposal, we can directly jump into questions. Otherwise, I think we need to jump back into the proposal. What do you guys think? Does it make sense?
Yeah. Anyone with some questions about what this proposal is all about? And this would be the clarifying questions round.
I can share the link if anybody doesn't have access, I guess.
Oh, I can copy this. Yeah, if you wouldn't mind sharing those links, both the links to this, the adaexperts.network, which is the sort of demo MVP, that's live, and then also to the proposal doc, which is right here, Google Doc. If you wouldn't mind sharing that to the group.
And also, like, is it okay if you took us through the proposal really quickly, Maureen, just so everyone understands the proposal properly before they can have opinions on it?
She might be looking for those links.
All good, all good.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. But in my mind, and it's pretty clear in my mind, it's a directory of developer, a portal for profiles, and I feel like profiles are a very, very important part of what we're trying to do in Cardano and with our collaborative effort.
And also, could you explain? I remember a couple of things from. Oh, Tivo has his hand up. Go ahead, Tivo.
Yeah, it's regarding I shared some questions and thoughts with Maureen privately, but I guess from that a bit like an overall question. How would you like to be if you were the user of this platform and you have your stuff written there? How would you like to be contacted by that person? Do they need to have specific intention? Do they need to have proposal in order to get your feedback? Like, because if it's just free form, I wonder how it will affect your is there a danger of having like this kind of social network which is easily accessible, everybody can see, and how much it kind of maybe somebody automates that and just sends email to everybody, it's message to everybody, and can or should the platform facilitate some kind of how to say, layers of connecting, like you have to have this token, like the gating basically, or people will then take it as a risk. Okay, this is all public or private, or should there be an option to turn these things private or public?
Oh, thank you for the question. That's a good question. So currently, all the information, like means of contacting the individual, is public. If you're asking me personally, I don't mind sharing my email. There is certainly a professional email that, I don't mind anybody messaging me on. I can just ignore it or respond to it, right? But I think that the best option would be for users to message through the platform. And I think that with the new update I'm going to make, users' real contact info is going to stay hidden until they choose to share it in the conversation. So you can control when or if to give out your email or your Telegram and so on. So for this MVP that we have here, users are only sharing which contact information they are comfortable with, like their X handle, their Telegram. Some people didn't actually share their email. So, I mean, it's okay. Does that make sense?
Devo? Does that
Yeah, it does make sense, and this is like one aspect from Maureen, but that was more like a general question for everybody. Like,
yeah.
how do you
What do
take
you
that? Like, if you get 100 emails asking, "Hey, I noticed you're a good developer, can you help me with this?" Or like, maybe they just ask you, "Hey, are you available?" Like, I do get, I guess, once a week, every time somebody asks me, "Hey, I can ask you a question," or "Do you need a developer?" Like, I don't even know, are they like bots or not? So I'm going to just give them a generic answer. But at some point, I guess if it's if it's like consistent thing, and the platform makes its work, meaning it finds people who are looking for people like you, then you may create this like a flow or like flood of bunch of people. And I guess I need an option to turn it off, or
right?
like make it some like,
Like a
okay,
block?
if you connect me, then you need to provide what's your intention, maybe what area of work you need. Is it governance? Is it project management? Is it design? And like funnel them instead of doing the funneling myself through responding to them.
All right.
Like,
So
is anybody here like working on stuff like where people are all constantly connecting them and asking them for something? If not, then maybe it's the wrong audience.
mm, good
I
point.
mean, this is a platform to get contacted, right? I don't get the problem.
Well, yeah, because what I'm thinking of is we put our profile out, and we choose to share, like our an email address or an account, an X account or a LinkedIn account. But it is interesting, aggregating the data and making it available for then it becomes sort of available for abuse. So it's definitely, and then it's just, is there a better way to do it? And it gives us the opportunity to sort of think about these things.
Yeah,
Um,
I have like a small question as well. So this platform seems like a platform that is built for recruiters specifically, because all the power lies in the hands of the recruiter. They get an access to a bunch of people and they choose to contact them or not, right? Have you spoken to any Web3 recruiters if this is the kind of solution they're looking for?
oh,
So
that one.
that's an interesting perspective. I didn't think of it as a platform for recruiters. I thought about it like, no. But I think recruiters will use it. So we are not anti-recruiter, we are just pro-connection, right? So yeah, I'm trying to build a connection with people to directly contact each other, and recruiters are free to use it. But it's for anyone who needs to find professionals. It could be recruiters, but also founders looking for co-founders, or projects needing consultants, or businesses hiring directly, or just professionals networking with their friends. So I think that if recruiters want to use it to find talent, it's a good idea, and I would definitely look into talking to some of them.
I like it. Okay. So in the interest of time, I think let's give a couple 5 minutes.
Lewis has his hand up.
Yeah. Let's just sort of time box for 5 more minutes to discuss this proposal. And if you've got a proposal or an idea or an MVP like Maureen, and you want to bring it up to this incredible group of Cardano Web3 developers, hey, why don't you come in and make a proposal in Gimbalabs? And I'm talking to you. If you think I'm talking to you, guess what? I'm talking to you. So for the next 5 minutes, let's talk about this one, and then we'll move on to the next agenda items. Okay. Does that sound good, Maureen?
Absolutely.
Excellent. Lewis, what do you got?
No, I wanted to mention that Herschel's question is really good. Yeah. As opposed to, here's my opinion actually. Maureen's idea makes me think that it's inclusive. Yeah. Apart from recruiters, yeah, the name even suggested it's a platform for ADA experts, right? Someone told me, no one will know you're an expert until you tell them you're an expert. Yeah. So this platform makes me think it's inclusive, right? Apart from recruiters, the people who want to tell people that, I can do this and that. Yeah, and someone who's using the platform can be able to tell, okay, you can do this and that. Well, me, I'm looking for that and this. Does that make sense? So I like this project.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
had to mention that.
Yeah. So thanks, Lewis. Any other comments or questions? Or if we want to get into James, maybe you can help here. Are we consenting to this project? Do we want to continue on with the flow of this thing?
I know that's such a good question. It doesn't, yeah, I mean, so I think the proposal as written, we could move through the consent process. I would want to know from Maureen first if you want to do that now, but also if there are questions and if we need to do like a refresher on what the consent process is before somebody can answer that question. That's just the only reason I was hesitating there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Maureen, as the proposal is currently written, do you want us to look at it and try to make a governance decision today? Or do you want to work on it a little bit more before we move to that stage?
I think I'm ready for the consensus.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, does that fit into our agenda? That's up to Newman and Harsha as facilitators if we're going to move that route.
Yeah, it
I
does.
think so. Yeah, we can get into consent now, but I guess then there becomes more sort of questions that I would have, because with the consent process, we're really asking for something from Gimbalabs, and basically that is sort of resources, time, person, time, sort of, asking for contributions and then also for financial, so a draw on the treasury, and so this draw. So like, what exactly are we consenting to? And that would be in this. So like the resources required. So Maureen, could I hear from you, like what the resources would be that you're asking for?
Yeah, let me just open the document.
Yeah. So I think I'm sharing the
Okay,
document.
so
Yeah.
okay. Oh yeah, right. For the resources, we are asking for 20,000 for development, which is going to take 15,000, and then a design and rebrand, which is going to account for the, as you guys can see, the logo is shit. So I want this to be an expert brand, not just because I want actual experts to come on the platform, right? And I want to make it, so the logo, complete rebrand and everything. And then we also need to engage with the community and, get people to connect on the platform, right? So, and then we have infrastructure costs, that's, user acquisition. So that is for the money part. And then for the other resources, we are going to need Gimbalabs to mentor, plus dev time when we're going to work with the Andamio integration. So we are going to Yeah, and also
Yeah.
I think that for the users as well. Hold on. Okay, this one, designer.
And
Hold on.
I can let you.
There's something off. There's something off. I think I put Gimbalabs to design the logo. Did you notice that, Newman? I think there's.
It just says designer creates logo. I can share my screen, but it might be better if you share yours so that you can sort of drive us around. And as an agenda note, in this consent process, if we're since we're now in the consent process, I can give another 15 minutes to doing this and extend if we need it. But let's try to be direct and use that time. But would you like to share your screen to sort of? And then
On my.
while you're doing that, if anyone can think, because we'll do a round here in a minute for concerns and objections. I think that's the next part, Harsha.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So Maureen, can you share your screen, or if you want, you can direct me and I can share mine.
No, just keep sharing, please,
Okay.
and go to the resources required where you were sharing.
Okay, perfect.
Yes, so for the responsibilities, Wiko and I are going to build the MVP, and then Gimbalabs is going to help us with the Andamio integration and also with technical consultation and mentorship. And also, I am going to take care. Well, I guess this doesn't concern you guys, but we are going to need James. I wanted to say my own part doesn't concern you because that's what I need to be doing. But we need James to, provide guidance. So I don't know if everyone is clear on the resources.
Yeah. I have a question. This is a sort of simple question. So it says dollars here. And I'm assuming US dollars?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, should I have put ADA? I don't know.
Mostly, yeah, it is sort of a community standard that we've sort of done is that, because we work in ADA, so mostly would be ADA. So we could change that and then just have like a, in Project Catalyst, they'll sometimes just put in, yeah, I think it's just working ADA. Yeah, it's the best way.
I can do that.
Perfect. So let's go around. Let's do a round. And Harsha, because my screen is, I want to keep the proposal up. Would you mind keeping record of who's gone and run the round for me?
Yes, I can do that. 1 second. So I see myself on top of the screen, so I'll start with me. So I have a small question for you, Maureen. Is the project open source?
It will be, yes.
Okay. So there I still have other questions. Like, for example, you mentioned Andamio, using Andamio, and I'm not sure where or how you would use Andamio because the proposal doesn't say anything about how that integration or why that integration is happening. So I need a little bit more clarity before I can even say yes or no to the proposal. At least that's where I stand at the moment. So next is Newman. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it is because it seems like, and this is a good thing about the S3 sort of framework. There still needs to be some clarifying, some details in there. As it is now, I can't really consent to the process, to the proposal, even though think that there's something good in there. So I'm hoping that if it doesn't reach consent now, that it comes back later. Yep.
We have Lewis next. So we'll just talk through for now, Maureen, so you get an idea of how people are thinking and feeling. So Lewis,
Yeah.
can you go next?
Thank you so much, Harsha and Newman. I think to answer, I think Maureen, correct me if I'm wrong. I noticed in the proposal you had mentioned James to help you or guide you in regards to Andamio or Andamio
That's right.
integration. Yeah,
Yes.
so I don't know, maybe you could tell us how you want James to chip in. I don't know. But on that, I really like your proposal. I won't lie. Yeah.
Okay, so the first question was what is Andamio and how is it
And so,
why does it
and Maureen, we'll just in the interest of like getting everyone's voice here, what we'll do is we'll collect all these questions and then you can
okay.
answer them at the end. And as this is sort of I guess sort of a hybrid, maybe we're learning how to do this. It's like questions, clarifying questions, concerns, and then if you consent or not. Because if you consent and you don't need any more, then you can just say, hey, I consent. That's it's sort of a hybrid situation. I mean, we're still trying to figure S3 as we go, but the point, one of the things I do know is that we don't want to get into a discussion about each one. Otherwise, we wouldn't get. So with that point, does that make sense, Harsha? Are we ready to continue on?
No, I think that makes perfect sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Harsha, Newman, and Lewis have gone. Who's next?
We have James next.
Okay.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, as a person who has very strong interests in Andamio, I'm excited for the Andamio opportunities here. And Maureen, I would love to follow up on those and support that. I don't think that Gimbalabs should be funding my time on the behalf of Andamio. So I think one thing I would change in the proposal is don't worry about asking for my time for that right there, and let's remove any funds that were for that. My other objection to funding this proposal as it's currently written is I think Gimbalabs needs to figure out its role in this kind of investment, right? So what my goal in bringing you to Gimbalabs with this was to give developers a chance to really sink their teeth into helping build the platform. But if it's just funding you and Wilco to do it, I love the idea of that, but I think anybody who's participating in Gimbalabs needs to decide, okay, do we do that kind of thing? Because we really haven't done that before. When we fund work, it's because we're trying to give people something that they can start building up their professional portfolio with. However, if people here decided that we were making investments in teams like you and Wilco to do things like you want to do, I would be all for that. It's just a matter of the Gimbalabs team deciding if that's something we want to do or if we want to really keep our focus on the building up contribution opportunities front. So I would say those are my key objections for now, and I wouldn't consent until those were resolved. But whatever happens with this proposal, you have my full support on the Andamio side, and that's something I'd be happy to follow up on anytime.
Beautiful.
And we have Sebastian next. Sebastian, you around? Check. Am I around?
You're good. We'll give him a couple more seconds. He may be listening in the background.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, let's pass on Seb. And who is next?
Gideon, you're next.
Okay, so talking about ADA experts, right? So I don't really Not really well informed about this project or this MVP. I haven't really gone through it. Maybe I'll need to go through the MVP later and explore the application. But I have a question in mind. Since Maureen is requiring for funding, I want to know the nature of data experts. Is it like a non-profit organization, or does it have a business or a revenue model? That's my question.
Yeah. Great. Thanks, Gideon. And the next, Harsha?
Next is Adrian.
Oh, hey, Adrian.
Hey guys, I joined 5 minutes ago, so haven't got too much. No opinion, pass.
Okay, thanks, Adrian.
All right.
That's great.
And then we have Jethro.
So my question, I'm trying to get the project how the project will work. So my own question is just basically, is it just like a phone book to connect people looking for job and people trying to employ people? Or is there a way that there will be integration of maybe payment on the platform? Or I don't know though. I'm just asking to get the model of how it will work. Is it just like a phone book just to connect people together? Is that how it works? Just trying to get that aspect sorted. That's my only question.
Excellent.
All right. Thank
Thanks,
you, Jethro. Emmanuel, you're next.
Yeah, I am just neutral about the proposal. Yeah, maybe I'll just keep it like that. Just something like abstain. Yeah.
Sounds good. And lastly, we have, Tivo, did you go? Or you didn't, right?
I
Like
didn't
Tivo,
go.
yeah. Yep. Go ahead.
So my clarifying questions are like, is the other expert site that you showed, is that already part of like the site itself? Because it's not part of proposal. Is it mock-up or already like a working prototype? And if it's not a working prototype, I wonder, like, is it worth or like considering like making a landing page where you simply register people's interest, those who want to make an account. So if you put it out there and you start like, hey, who would be interested in, you will be getting like a register list of users and maybe even on the side like what they would use it for. And that would be a very strong like starting point of, okay, who are going to use the platform and what they want to use it for, and that will set up a more strategic starting point for the building the platform. Other than like the consent, I don't know if there is an option for that. I would abstain for now.
All right. Thank you, Tivo. And lastly, we have Ahmed.
Hey, Ahmed.
Yeah, I joined in quite late, so I didn't get full context of what was discussed. So yeah, I'll pass.
All right. Sounds good. So that's where we are at. How do we go about this next, Newman?
Well, we could, Maureen, if there were any other questions, and hopefully this is valuable to you. We asked about the Andamio integration and about the revenue model, and then Tevo's last point about sort of an idea about like validating the use case. Let's give you some time now, Maureen, if you wanted to respond and keep talking through it. We've got some time.
Yeah, let's give it like 10 minutes and then Maureen can work through it, or like we can figure out the next steps for Maureen, maybe like improve on the proposal and come back.
Perfect.
All right.
Perfect. Let's do another 10.
Okay, very good questions. Let me start from the question about Andamio. So Andamio is an educational platform for Cardano. The the idea was that if we integrate Andamio to ADA experts, then people can sort of, so Andamio would provide blockchain education to people, courses like Bluetooth, whatever, and then issue some kind of verification to the people who complete courses, and then authenticate that. And so if somebody completes a course on Andamio, their ADA experts profile automatically shows a verified credential, right? An employee or employer searching for maybe Bluetooth developers can see a verified education. And then the person can get hired or not. It depends. Yeah, it depends. But I hope they get hired. So I think that that would benefit the people on the platform as well as the people on ADA experts. And the other question was how James was going to help. It was that he is the founder of Andamio, and he would guide on the architectural decisions so that we don't build things the wrong way. The other question about revenue, currently in its present form, ADA experts does not have a revenue stream. It's just a community, let's say a social service, I guess. But eventually we could do a lot of, there are so many ways we could make some sort of light monetization. Maybe within the next 2 years or next 1 year, we could do something like featured placement for profiles, like put them at the top of the search results or highlight them with a special badge, like give them higher visibility. If the platform eventually gains a lot of traction, I'm sure people would pay for that. And we could also do like company accounts where teams can manage each other, right? A company can manage their team members, or they can have analytics, or maybe branding and just kind of showcasing them. There are so many ways to do that, but not to get too far into that because we only have 10 minutes. The other question, I'm sorry, Tevo, I didn't get your question. You asked, how do we validate the use case? I didn't quite get the question there. Sorry.
Yeah, you had like this other expert site, but I don't know, is it mock-up or is it MVP, like a prototype? And if it's not the prototype, like then like creating like basically a register list where people can say why would they use the platform, why wouldn't they use, and that will give insights of who would be the users who want that platform.
The current platform is sort of an MVP and it has limited features. I don't get your question. I'm sorry.
But is it with the real people? So if somebody, because it's not part of the proposal.
Real people. Yeah, they are real people.
Okay. Well, yeah, that answers basically my question.
Yeah, we have real people. And currently, when somebody submits their profile, it gets added to the directory, but it doesn't have the verification badge. Then when I kind of review it and see that it's an actual person and not just a troll, and then give it a verification badge. But if it's a troll, then I delete it out of the directory. Well, are there any other questions that I missed? I feel like there is still time, but
Yeah. I think, about the revenue. No, I think that was it. So I think so. We haven't reached consent. So it's back to back into your court, Maureen, to make some changes in the proposal, and then you can bring it back up at another session.
And
Yeah, sorry, let me say something about what James said. So if I'm understanding correctly, if I were to present this, then everything would be done by the Gimbalabs developers.
Oh,
Go ahead, James.
well,
Let
James,
James
you
can
wanna
clarify.
address
so
Yeah.
yeah, when that was my goal, and reaching out to you, Maureen, that was the first goal I led with, is that I think your project would be a great opportunity to bring some developers in. And if it's not that, that's okay. Like, right, that was just something I was thinking about. And if, right, like I said, if the proposal is for Gimbalabs to fund you and Wilco to work on that, I would consent on that if Gimbalabs had some agreements about what we are doing when we invest in something like that. So as a follow-up item for this meeting, anybody who's interested inside of Gimbalabs in trying to create a policy on that, can we take that one into the Discord and talk
Yeah.
about that, right? We do have some funds in a treasury. They should be used somehow. Are they used like we've been doing to keep giving developers projects to work on so they can build up their professional portfolio? Or should we allocate some of it to builders like Maureen and Wilco, who clearly we want to support people like them, right? Like, you two have an idea, you're ready to run with this, you have something to bring to market, right? Like, there's a great argument for Gimbalabs choosing to support that kind of thing. We just need to know what we're doing, right? And so there's just some internal alignment there. Once we have that, I think it's on us to come back to Maureen and say, hey, here's some guidance on how we approach this question.
Yep.
You're
Actually,
Maureen, you're forcing us to ask a new question that we haven't had to ask before. So thank you.
Which is wonderful. Yeah. Harsha.
and no, I mean, we can definitely take that discussion to Discord, but we do have 30 minutes here. And this was the exact discussion I wanted to have in public on here before we move to Discord. Is
Right.
that, do you prefer Discord, James, or can we speak about this for 30 minutes
Well,
right here?
I was wondering if this was what your agenda item was about when you just
This was
mentioned.
exactly what my agenda
Yeah,
item was,
that's
yes.
wonderful. So yeah, take
Yeah.
it away. Thanks, Harsha.
Let's let Harsha have an agenda. And how long do you think, Harsha? Do you want 5 minutes, 10 minutes?
I mean, let's see where the discussion goes, unless we have something else in the agenda
Well,
that we are backlogged on. Yeah.
let me let's take a look, because there is some stuff. This is our agenda, and it was really wonderful, Maureen, and thank you for bringing the proposal, and what a great discussion around it. So updates from in progress projects. So I was hoping that Andrew was here.
Is Andrew here? Yeah, I don't think Andrew is here.
And then also, I mean, if because we've got Gideon, Emmanuel, and Jethro here that are a part of this, do you guys want to just give a short shout out to what's going on?
Yeah,
Just
like,
in a minute.
give it like 3 minutes. Yeah, two. Yeah, a minute is fine too. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. With Ahmed too is here.
Oh.
I think though I'm yet to give it a public announcement to our Discord, but by Friday, that's next week, we'll be having the closing ceremony for this project. And that will be a close up for this project. So that's by Monday. Our hackathon results should be maybe Monday to Wednesday next week. Our hackathon results should be ready, and and then we would try to say, okay, we are done with Gimbalabs Africa Developers Education Initiative. how can we also try to be
Oh.
an independent community? How can we also try to be an independent community in Nigeria? So yeah, that would be the way forward to this project. And yeah, thanks everyone.
Awesome.
That's
Awesome.
amazing. Yeah.
All right. So, and I'm really, that's been a lot of fun going through the hackathon. Harsha and I are judging there. You know, one thing we DREP Community Platform, you know,
Yeah, let's do this real quick. Actually, is Nelson here? Because Nelson is leading the project. So if Nelson isn't here, me and Newman can take that.
yeah.
Let me quickly see if Nelson is here.
Yeah.
Nelson.
One
I
thing.
don't see Nelson here.
Nelson is not here. So let's you and I can quickly go through this 1 minute. So what we built right now is we initially the names were not showing on the proposals, just the ID, like the transaction hashes. So we made a change so that now the proposals we can see the names of the proposals. The second thing we added is the expiry time on the proposals. So the Gimbalabs expiry time is 5 days before the actual on-chain expiry time, so that James has enough time to vote. So James has 5 days to vote. And we have made those two changes from my side. And Newman, do you want to quickly talk about the changes you are making?
Yeah, so I've been working on getting the Discord bot going, and I'll just give you an idea of what it is. And I think it's here. Yeah. So this is a little Discord bot that's running. This week I was able to get this hosted 24/7. So every day at 8 p.m. my time, I think it's midnight UTC time, this little bot runs and we get proposals listed. Currently there are 4 proposals. The thing that I'm working on is getting the title of the proposals here. Right now, this link will work, but it's not as, it's not as user friendly. And there's some things about that. And just let me show you what it is. It's just a Next.js app. This is this part, and then the Discord bot is its own little app in here. Yeah.
Beautiful.
So,
and 1 minute, we only have like little time. So let's move to Lewis. So Lewis, you also worked on the project. Can you quickly tell us in 30 seconds what you did as well?
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Harsha. Well, I was working on the contributing.md file. I did a pull request. Nelson, I don't know if Nelson has accepted it just yet.
I think he did. I think he did.
Apart from that, I was working on the footer, and then I have one more, I think, with Newman. And that's in regards to the open, the OG, open graph.
Yeah, OG, the open graph metadata.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Perfect. Yeah, and this looks great, Lewis. I'm really happy that you got in there and we're working on it.
All right, beautiful.
I like OG metadata. Very nice.
Yeah.
And then,
can I ask just one quick yes or no question? Are you guys moving forward at this time with some of the plans Adrian suggested for distributing these DREP keys, or is that not in scope?
That is in scope. Adrian already wrote a smart contract. It's not been tested yet, but it's a pretty basic contract, so we can write this really quickly. But did you have any suggestions about that part of it?
No. So I was just wondering about like my role for the long term and like putting these things on chain versus having. So I'll still be the one posting the final decision to chain, or will the multi-script handle that?
So for now, unfortunately, either you will be doing it or we'll have a multi-sig. So a couple of people will have to sign, including you.
No, that's fine. That's fine. If it's multiple of us signing or M of N, whatever it is, I just want to confirm. Okay.
Yes, that's the plan.
Good for now. Thanks.
Perfect. Excellent. Ooh, so hopefully now you're updated a little bit, and folks out there on YouTube, you're updated now on this community DREP portal, which it's been a great project, and Harsha, Lewis, and Nelson and I have been really, it's been really occupying a lot of my time, and it's a wonderful thing about Gimbalabs. If you are interested in creating a Discord bot, getting involved with governance and the DREP, a Next.js app, on-chain validation, lots of wonderful things to get involved here. Please connect with us. We have a channel in Discord, and we're meeting, several times during the week. All right.
Right. So let's get back to the discussion. And Lewis has his hand up. So Lewis, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. So there's one thing I wanted to mention in the contributing.md file in regards to distributing the rewards. I wrote down we're still currently developing that, so keep your eyes peeled or something like that.
Yes, I think that's perfect because we have no idea how to distribute the rewards at this point.
Yeah. So
Right.
guys will be able to view that maybe down the line at the bottom. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Just underlining that there are rewards available for contributing in this project. So please jump in.
Yep.
And this may be something I just want to read this into the account. We have Notion accounts. So I'm working on Notion, and there's some, when you create a proposal, we created a Notion account, and I want to, just bring that up to the community. It's like, how do we manage these? And like, for instance, Maureen has a proposal. Maybe it's once it's consented to, does she get an account? Once you're contributing, so that might mean that Lewis would have an account. I just want that sort of into the discussion. We can talk about this in Discord. And then the other one is calendar events. We have a really great calendar as a part of the website, and right now the only event on that calendar are these Thursday meetings, but the DREP community portal group is meeting and the Dandelion group is meeting. And I wonder about getting those calendar events on this.
Newman, just real quick to that one, if you drop those into the admin channel, I'll add them right away.
Okay, perfect. And I mean, I guess in a consent way, does that sound cool to the rest of the group? And you can just give a thumbs up, or if you have an objection, you can talk to me offline. I believe that, so moving on to the next agenda item, I believe that the PBL video updates project is getting close to a close. And
I think it's close. We just need Andrew to be around so that he can officially close it.
Yes, which is great. Okay. And then this would be the time. So new proposals. If you have listened to us and you're out there on YouTube and you're like, you know what, I want to get involved in this, I have a new proposal, please bring it up. You can bring it up in an open meeting, but if you can bring it up to one of us in the Discord channel, just announce it on the Discord channel and show what you've been working on. You can be a part of this by bringing a proposal. So I definitely want to keep that in mind and make sure that people know that proposals are how we work here, and that going through this and this process is a valuable thing for the community. Okay, and now general discussion, and I think we can talk Harsha about this different models of funding in the last 10-15 minutes or so that we've got left. What do you think?
So no, so my point of discussion wasn't different models of funding. My point of discussion was, how do we go about funding? Like, what kind of projects do we go about funding? Like, if we do fund for profit projects, how do we go about it? What's the framework around it? So let me start with one quick question. Should we fund closed source projects? Could you guys like say a word or two, or what you're feeling about that? What do you feel about closed source projects?
Yes, if it's in Gimbalabs or
Yeah,
like
this is
general
specifically,
network.
no, this is specifically for Gimbalabs treasury. Should we fund projects that are closed source from the Gimbalabs treasury?
Ooh.
I mean, why not? Like closed source probably is something that relates to security usually often, or potentially, or something that you don't really want to privately share, or I mean publicly share.
Like it.
For me,
Yeah, I think. Sorry.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead. Okay,
Let's
so
and then
whoever
Maureen, and then we'll just have a round. Everybody will get a chance to answer this question quickly, and then we'll have a discussion afterward. How about that, Harsha?
yeah, sounds
Okay.
good. Yeah.
So Adrian and then Maureen.
I think it depends. So I think it would be a case-by-case decision. Yeah, as Tavo said, sometimes it's better if it's close to us, especially if it is in early stage, because yeah, there is always a possibility of security breaches. Yeah, I think if we fund a project should depend on the purpose of the project. So if it aligns with Gimbalabs' vision.
Yep, love it. Maureen?
Yeah, I think that the open source everything narrative is broken. And I've been seeing that a lot in the Web3 community. Just because blockchain technology is open, it doesn't mean that every application on it needs to be, right? A professional project maybe trying to make money should definitely protect themselves from their competitors. And also, I just wanted to point out that open source does not guarantee decentralization. Now, I'm just talking generally, not to Gimbalabs, of course. But uh, if a project is good and it's just not open source, and we kind of push it aside that oh it has to be, then the should I say the values are not aligned, because a project just uh you need demand, you need a good plan, you need, are people gonna use it, is it gonna be useful, then why not? So open source for me is just a small part of that, and it's not even that big of a deal. But I think that we have made it such a religion that now when people make projects and it's closed source, we're like, oh no, start making. Yeah, anyway, that's it.
That's good. Good point, Maureen. How about Ahmed and then Emmanuel?
Sorry, what?
No, we're just continuing with the round, and we'll get to Ahmed and then Emmanuel. We'll give him just a few more seconds, and you can either stay quiet or come on and say pass. Emmanuel, should we fund closed source projects out of the Gimbalabs treasury? And then after Emmanuel, maybe Gideon.
On my side, it really depends, because most closed source projects are basically done for gatekeeping, saying I don't want to release all of my and it depends. So if the criteria is like, okay, we don't want to open source all of our projects, but we'll be open sourcing parts of it. All right. Because of some sensitive data, like for example, so we can just say, okay, yes, it is not fully open source, we would understand. But if it's fully closed source, because the funds which is used to get the project is like a community funds. But yeah, so it just depends. And I would say most projects that do the closed source thing, maybe it's for gatekeeping. So yeah.
That's cool. All right, thanks, Emmanuel. Then Gideon, and then James.
Okay, talking about funding closed source projects. I think it should be all right, but there should be some sort of partnership or a leverage, yeah, a form of leverage, because you are the one funding the project, right? So you need to have some leverage in that project, or a stake in that project, essentially. Yeah, that is my that's what I think.
All right. All right. And next is
James.
James. Yeah. And
Yeah.
then
Thanks for this conversation, guys. I don't have a strong yes or no opinion on Harsh's question, but I'm grateful for these opinions, and I do think we need to just have something written up in terms of our stance on whatever we answer to this.
perfect. Perfect. Jethro, then Lewis. Jethro.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Continue from what Gideon said about a stake in the business. I think if it's a business, definitely, if it should get funded by Gimbalabs, there should be like a stake or maybe a percentage or something. Since it's a business and then there's a profit on it. So I think, yeah, there should be a stake in it. Or if it's not really a business, as long as it's helping Gimbalabs, like there's a profit Gimbalabs gets from it, maybe from any other benefits, then I think it is fine.
Excellent. Okay. Lewis, and then I think that's Shaggy there, Samuel Hogan.
Okay. I would say it's subjective to the proposal, and as long as it benefits Gimbalabs as a whole. So yeah.
Right. It's good. Thanks, Lewis. Shaggy, and then Sebastian. He may be listening in. We'll circle back. Sebastian.
Yes, certainly. I have no problem. All depends of the content and what's the nitty-gritty of the proposal, right? And depends of the capacity of our treasury, right? Because you can talk about funding something if we don't have the money. But besides that, if the idea is good and benefits not only Gimbalabs, but Cardano in general, and it goes beyond the boundaries of Gimbalabs, for sure, man. For sure.
Right.
Thanks a lot.
Right. Yeah, and then I echo some of those sentiments. Yeah, that's if it benefits us, then the closed source doesn't matter so much to me. And then also the sort of yeah. So I feel like that's good. Harsha, that was around for you and your question.
No, I think that makes perfect sense. And I agree with most of the opinions, actually. Like, it depends on the context. But also for me, open source like really helps. Like, say, for example, I want to build like a project. The first thing I do is, are there any similar projects? And then I'll go check out their repo and see how they built it. And then we can build. So I think it does help. It's not as insignificant as it sounds at points of time. But yeah.
Okay, and not to sort of take, but I'm thinking of Lewis's contributing document. I like the idea of open contribution. I think that if it's, and this can go into this policy, because I also think, and James mentioned that, is that having a clear policy or written, doesn't necessarily have to be clear, but just written so that when people are coming up with ideas, that they know this is the sort of policy. I like the idea of open contribution, meaning that if Gimbalabs is funding it, that a Gimbalabs member can contribute to it, as opposed to it's just for us, just for the, you know what I mean? There's something in the difference between open source that it's licensed, but then open contribution. So just that thought.
Yeah, just following through with that, I genuinely feel Gimbalabs almost works as like as like an entity that never looks after itself. I just feel like Gimbalabs, specifically for-profit projects, Gimbalabs should look after itself and say, hey, if I'm giving you the money, then I need something in return, just like venture capitalists do.
Right.
That's where I feel like we'll get to sustainability if we are doing it.
Yeah, I think that's that's a, that's a good question to ask about, like, and it gets into that sustainability of Gimbalabs, like, and if we, risk time and attention and financial, then there's some reward, like, coming back. So this gets into that sort of revenue model. Oh, are there any other things on this, burning questions? Does anyone have their hand up or want to talk about this? One of the things that we do like to do is end on time to respect everybody's time, and we have about 5 minutes.
Who's excited to run that transcript through an LLM and see what it tells us about our policy?
Yes. Nori's AI, 100 days of AI. I would love to see somebody join him in that and follow his blog and comment and, kind of network effect, like get the collaborative power of folks, because it seems like we're all very interested in AI.
Yeah. Yeah, so eventually we'll have to decide what our policy is so that projects like Maureen's project or some other project out there can come to us. Otherwise, we'll just have to say no to them in the first place.
Yeah, let's work async to bring a document to next week's meeting. We can put that in the public Discord, put a draft up there, and be ready to talk about it next week.
All right,
Yeah.
perfect.
And it's our responsibility to make sure that Maureen knows what that policy is, for example, and we'll
Right.
make sure that people are aware of that up front.
Sounds good.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where we're walking the path and we're like, oh, wait a minute, we need to have this policy. So big kudos to Maureen for bringing this and sort of triggering that. Lots of processes are going on.
Sorry, what do I need to know?
Well, that you would need to know as somebody that's bringing a project for consent and funding and needing help, like in development help, which is an opportunity for the people here. Let's say somebody is interested in, doing design or logo design or getting into those smart contracts and the credentialing with Andamio. Like that's an opportunity. But if it's typically we've dealt with closed or with open source things, but with a closed source thing, like what are the parameters of that? And that discussion that we just had about it. Yeah. Would that have helped if you had like there was a policy about, like there was in the Gimbalabs handbook or in our documentation?
I mean, more than Maureen, frankly, it would have helped people like me so that I know whether to consent or not.
Yeah, that's true.
That's where I'm coming from too. I don't know what to say.
Yeah. Because like the Andamio is a for-profit and there's some open things. And then there's other, like it is motivating. Like we do need to generate capital. I think that's where Sebastian, he's just like, look, he's always been focused, or in the last bits, he's been focused on like, hey, how do we keep this good thing going? And that our funding sources generally right now are Catalyst, which is good. And I think Catalyst should fund this type of outreach, community development. But it motivates, the profit motive is a real thing. Like I think it's something that we should use. It's not a bug, it's a feature,
Yep, I agree.
I got to jump, but thanks everybody.
Yep.
All right.
See you soon.